Hello and welcome to another FX Centrum daily market analysis. For today, we'll go through our cross-asset list. I will cover a coffee market, WTI, US 100, the USD Japanese yen, the pound dollar, euro dollar, gold market, US 30, dollar index, Bitcoin, and aluminium. I will do so by using our FX Centrum platform, and we'll begin with a coffee market. So, as we can see here, a coffee market is trading to the downside in the last couple of days. Basically, everything started when we had a breakout of this 222 mark, 221.90. So this is where I learned about a potential downside movement towards the lower Bollinger Band, but we can see market is just trading alongside the lower Bollinger Band. We can see the slow and fast line are sloping to the downside, and yesterday's close was near the low, so there is a chance for further downside movement, and so far sellers are in control. We can see here that we have a support from the previous price action around 182. I will say 182.90, 183.70 mark or 182 mark. So pay attention to that. You can also see on the hourly time frame, this is just market is moving below the lower Bollinger Band, a natural pullback, and then more downside like this bear flag or downside movement. Now on WTI, we have a consolidation in the last few days. So we have underlying resistance, let's say at 80 mark, and support around 78 mark. But still, the lower Bollinger Band is just around, and we have a volatility expansion. Middle Bollinger Band is sloping to the downside. So there is a chance definitely for the further downside movement towards the 72 mark short term. Slow line is sloping to the downside. Fast line had just a little correction at this point. So from my perspective, we can have the rebreak of this consolidation low, which is at 78 mark. If we can break that level and hold below, there will be a chance for a further bigger drop on the crude oil. Now on the US 100, so we had this extra push higher, and now this is very important to observe. If you see here the gap between the fast and slow line, this is my favorite, and this is something that we will teach in a special webinar very soon. So this is a technique that I'm using for many years, and as you can see here, we have quite a big gap between the fast and slow line and stochastic. I will just show you something similar we had here at this point back in mid-March. And you can see after the market reached the top of the Bollinger Band, and market went into the downside swing. And it's actually, this was the beginning of the whole downside move back then. Same thing happened here, just on the other direction, when we have quite a big gap between the fast and slow line, quite a big gap relative to the previous price action. Then we had this rally to the upper Bollinger Band. So is this a potential beginning and topping at this point? Did we finish this? Maybe a prolonged correction. We will see, but there is a chance for that. Now, upper Bollinger Band, and there is a important clusters around 18,200 mark, and the upper Bollinger Band is there. So if we can see some kind of the downside rotation on the hourly time frame, we can see that the sell-off, and if market can trade below the lower Bollinger Band and this support, like let's say if market can trade below 17,900 mark and hold below, then this will be a good sign for potential drop and downside continuation, and at least for the fast line to get closer to the slow line. So resistance is on the test. We have 18,200 mark, like a very important on the US 100. Now USD seems like a very legit. You can see here that this is something I learned like a few days ago. This was a big gap between the fast and slow line, just a rejection of the middle Bollinger or the lower Bollinger Band. So that was quite a good area for the upside. And we even have a confirmation on the intraday, the hourly time frame. As you can see here, we had a breakout of this swing lows and cluster, and market is holding relatively well. You can see that position of slow and fast line on oscillator is looking pretty good. So I will say there is a chance for the upside movement, at least for the retest of this previous swing high on the hourly time frame, which is at the 156 mark. And of course, it's possible short term that market can try to absorb all this downside movement. We have a 157.57, the high of this big sell-off candle. So there is a chance for that rally. And I will post about this. Actually, I will do the separate video today about this trade idea. Now we have a pound dollar. So what we can see here is that this gap, there was a big gap here. So market sold off, and then there was a rejection of the upper Bollinger Band. You can see how the upper Bollinger Band is holding very well here. And from my perspective, there's a still chance for the lower prices. Now the fast line is sloping to the downside. Fast line, they're just around each other. So there will be a chance if market can take the 1.2530 mark. There can be a chance for a retest at least of a middle Bollinger Band at 1.2480. And then if we can even break that level, then there will be a chance for a retest of 1.250 mark. So far, key resistance in pin bar high is at 1.2, 633 mark. On the hourly time frame, we can see that we already have some attempt this morning and the breakout of the lower Bollinger Band. But if we don't have some reaction like this, I think that there is a good chance for a further downside development. Euro dollar is pretty similar, so let's go and hold our daily time frame. So you can see this gap now narrowing, but still we had this sign of weakness, the candle that closed in the middle, and this can be and the top of the Bollinger Band. So there will be a chance for a downside movement from my perspective, at least towards 1.0700, which is the middle Bollinger Band area, and potentially even towards the 1.0650 mark or even 1.0570 mark. Hourly time frame is trying, we're still trading around the lower Bollinger Band, but if we can break and hold below, and especially if we can trade below 1.0745, that will be a good sign for the further downside movement. Look at the fast and slow line. They're pretty much have this short term, at least in the last 10 hours, we have this downside momentum. Okay, now let's take a look at the gold market. So gold market is in consolidation in the last couple of days. And now the resistance is on the test, so 23.33. And I will say there is another resistance, 23.53. Now on the daily time frame, we can see the fresh bull cross between the fast and slow line. So fast line had a bull cross. Doesn't mean anything at this point since we're in the consolidation, but it's just the one information from the stochastic perspective. If market can break 22.79 and hold below, there will be a chance for a bigger drop towards 21.55. From another side, if market can break at 23.53 and hold above, there will be a chance for a 2,400 to be on the test. The consolidation is going this market. You can see that on hourly we're testing lower Bollinger Band. Market can break lower Bollinger Band of this contraction on the hourly, hold below. This will be a good beginning. You can see also here that slow line and fast line just had a correction, so we're trying. I think the sellers are taking control slowly at this point, and there will be a chance for a downside movement. Now we have a US 30. Again, there is a gap between fast and slow line. So market is just alongside upper Bollinger Band, but we have some resistance level around that point. So I will say like 39,000 mark and 39,100. We have a resistance levels there. And if we go to the hourly, market is still holding around the middle Bollinger Band. So this market, we need to see some kind of like break like we had here of the lower Bollinger Band, some tightness, break to the downside and hold below. So far, market still have some buyers in, but we have like a couple of days in a row upside, so bullish days, and we have this gap that is now even increasing at this point. So you might see some rotation, but we also have a quite important resistance daily time frame. And now the dollar index. So this is like probably one of the biggest gaps between the fast and slow line that you can see. And this can result with a rally back up into the upper Bollinger Band and the area of resistance from my perspective, at least towards this area of say 106.50, 106.40 mark. You can see also that there was a pin bar like last week, and then there was an inside bar yesterday, and market is breaking today. So this is a kind of good formation from my perspective and position of stochastic. We are still in the upside trend environment. If we track like the last few months, we have a higher highs and higher lows. All of this movement here can just be a corrective for the potential upside continuation. So see the hourly time frame is now trying to break and absorb this sell-off on the hourly, and this pretty good sign for the further upside movement from my perspective, at least towards that retest 106.43. We have a middle Bollinger Band at 105.74. Now on the Bitcoin, it's pretty much flat. You can see that Bollinger Bands are pretty in flat position, more like a contracting. There was some pin bar yesterday. There was a 10 from buyers, but market just sellers took control and closed near the low. Again, we can see the lower highs and lower lows we have already in the background. So lower highs and 2 lower lows. So we're building like a downside environment relative to if we go and take a look at the last couple of months. But so far we need to see more price action and more volatility. It's pretty much contracted. We didn't have still a clean break and hold below the lower Bollinger Band on the hourly since beginning of May. And if we can see that, if market can break like 60, let's say 62,500, if market can break this and hold below, this will be a very good confirmation for the further drop, maybe for the full retest of this 57,000 mark, maybe the full retest. But we need to see that initial break and hold below. And we have aluminum, which is now just doing the consolidation around. So we have the 25.15 support and resistance around this point, around 26.05. Bollinger Bands are pretty contracting, pretty flat. So we have quite a consolidation last like 5 to 6 days. And the breakout of the resistance to support can be a good confirmation for the directional move. So that will be all for this FX Centrum daily market analysis. If you didn't visit our website, you can do that. So fxcentrum.com. You can explore we have a 100% deposit bonus. This is a really big boost for your account. FXCTV, you can explore our technical analysis. Every single day, we're covering like almost all liquid markets, trading ideas at least once per week. And I will do this separate video on the USD Japanese yen just after this one. So today, expect this trade idea tutorials, different tutorials, and very important, you can open an account in just literally a couple of minutes and enjoy our platform, basically FX Centrum platform. And don't forget to unlock and get access to our instructional webinar. So it's very informative, and you can see what we can offer and why we are different. And that will be all for this FX Centrum daily market analysis. Soon I will post a trade idea on the USD Japanese. Have a good trading day. Speak to you soon.